Good evening, traders. Today is Monday, February 27th. Markets have been closed. I was waiting for futures to kind of play out a little bit before I did this session. And ladies and gentlemen, I think we are looking at a wedge formation. I think we are looking at end of December, beginning of January, rinse and repeat. I'm going to show you the data that proves this. I think we're going to chop around in a giant wedge for a period of maybe a week or two, maybe even two. And then after that wedge resolves, it's going to rip to the upside again. Because I'm going to show you repeating data over and over and over again that keeps on coming. Okay, so why don't we zoom into this? Here, hold on a second. Let's zoom on into this right here. So this was today, Friday, Thursday, top of the wedge, bottom of the wedge. Today started to form this part of the wedge. You see the pattern now? And I'm going to show you futures a little bit later. Futures is kind of up tonight. And what's futures is going to do? I think tomorrow morning we might possibly wake up to this side of the wedge. Possibly. Okay? So this right here, as you guys know, that's the hive right there. See that? See how it respected it, came down underneath it, came up, and now it's following it. I'm going to show you another slide that highly suggests it's going to follow this channel. It doesn't matter if it's under it, it's going to follow it. Okay, I don't think it's going to lose it. Pretty darn tough to lose it when the hourly MACD that you're looking at right here, the 65-minute MACD, is making higher lows and it's up here above the zero line. That is really, really tough. I would say actually impossible to lose. You can't lose it. So, ready for the next slide? Here, oh, hold on, let me zoom back out. That's all I want to say about that. Ha 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 ha. January, here's December 14th. Down, down, down. Look at the pattern of the MACD, the 1 hour MACD. Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. And then once it got to the zero line, boom, it exploded after this. What was happening during the higher low, higher low, higher lows? Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. That's a wedge. It formed a wedge. Look at February. Down, 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 up. Down, 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 down. Higher, starting the higher lows now. Starting the higher lows now. Okay? What remains in store is, well, it's quite possible. I might have drawn this prematurely. It might actually go even higher. See what I'm saying? It, who knows? If it goes even higher, well, then that just means the wedge is even wider. Okay? So, I think that's what we're looking at. All right? Now, let's go on to the next slide. 4 hour. The 4 hour. Here you go. You want some evidence? Here's your evidence. December, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. By the third week of December, we'll just call it third week of December. Higher, 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 higher. And by the time, and while it was making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows on the 4 hour MACD, wedging, 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 explosion to the upside. Okay? Why don't we fast forward to February? Lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. Aha. Higher low notch. Now it's going back up. Rinse and repeat. And this time, this is a higher low than that. Is it not? I think so. So, it is now in the same process of creating these, what I called on Twitter, Godzilla spines. Jagged spines of just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down when it's in that wedge. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then once that 4 hour MACD gets close to the zero line, it's time to rock it. to make even higher highs. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is what the market makers are doing. Remember the bear line. Oh, you can't see. I don't have the legend over here on the right hand side. The bear line for the 4-hour chart is negative 35. Negative 35. That's nowhere near negative 35. I think it's like, oh, I can't guess. I can't remember. It's in the upper teens, I think. Nowhere close to the bear line. Okay? So, this has been, the MACD has been 100% accurate. 100%. All right? Every time I've called it, I said, oh, yeah, that's a higher low notch. That's the bottom. And it has been every single time. On the 4-hour, the 1-hour, doesn't matter what you want to call it. That's it. The MACD is accurate every single time. So, especially the 4-hour, because you guys know the 4-hour is a half day, right? That's a half day's worth of data. So when this sucker turns, makes a higher low notch, like, that's it. That's it. It's turned the corner. That's the bottom. Okay? So, remember, I'm the guy that talks about momentum. I'm the MACD guy. I'm momentum and strength, RSI. I'm not Elliott wave. I'm not like, oh, I'm projecting ABC waves or ABC legs. I'm just, look, you got the horsepower or not, yes or no. I'm just more up or down guy, right? Up or down, that's it. So when I say, no, that's the bottom. Yeah, that's the bottom because the MACD says so. And the MACD is always right. So as you saw on the previous slide, the 1-hour, that's at the zero line, guys. You can't crash. The bear line for the 1-hour is negative 20. You can't crash when you're at the zero line. Okay, that's just like, no, that's not going to happen. So look at the 5-hour chart since February 21st. Lower lows. But what has happened since, we'll just call this 12:23 at noon. Higher lows. There's just no other way to interpret it, guys. It's called bullish divergence. That's just the way it is. Just the way it is. That's the rules of trading. Okay, let's look at futures tonight. It's going back up slightly. So you want to know, this is exactly what, this is rinse and repeat from December. Just hands down, full stop. In December, or towards the end of December and beginning of January, what was happening was, why don't I just go to that slide instead of talking about it conceptually? Let's see here. What's a better slide? Yeah, let's just go to this one. In this period, especially this one up here, December 14th. Yes. This, what was this? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. It was right here. It was right here. I remember this night right here. Why don't I zoom into that? This right here was the news that the Japan Central Bank was, announcing some policy, right? It was this. And I proved it that night that futures already knew it was coming. Because that night I showed the MACD was starting to show bearish divergence. It was already showing bearish divergence up here. And then all of a sudden, it just collapsed. Oh, it happened to form the bottom of the wedge too, didn't it? Because that really made me mad. I remember that day, that bottom came, and all of a sudden it just ripped right up. I'm like, what is this? See? They knew what was up, man. They were doing something. So, I will tell you this, and this happened this morning. This move in December, this up move right here, You notice the behind there, that lavender shade? That happened in extended hours. And guess what happened this morning? Extended hours. Okay? So what they're going to do when they're wedging like this, they will use futures overnight, like they did last night, and like they're doing tonight. They're going to use futures to pump it. Pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it. And that makes the 1 hour and 4 hour MACD keep going up and up and up and up, all while we can't do anything about it. But then during the day, they dump it. So then the MACD goes down during the day. And that's what creates these Godzilla tines, Godzilla spines. See that? That's what creates that. See, look. Well, it kind of went up. Oh, it went down during the trading day, right? Oh, it went up in futures. Oh, again, it went up during the trading day too. But you see, this is exactly what they're doing. Look at this. Look at this. Well, they just rocketed up in futures overnight. Like up, and then during the trading day up. Oh, but you can't forget to go down. And then they happen to have taken it down in futures right here. Look at that. Boom, down. Oh, let's just take it up. Oh, and then the trading, oh, let's take it up. And then it's kind of flatten out, flatten out. Oh, futures is, we're going down, 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 down. This is all just manipulation, guys. If you just follow the trend, you know, and then without our okay, so this trading day went down, 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 down. Everyone's all mad because oh, we're going down again. God. But then what does futures do? Pivot and rocket it back up during overnight hours. See what I mean? This is all about manipulating the MACD, go up, down, up, down, up, down until you get to that zero line, and then you're going to rock it. That's all they are doing. That's manipulation. Whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. That's how they do it. And this is all this chop. That's exactly what they're doing. That is exactly textbook what happened this morning. When I went on and did my YouTube episode, well, look at that thing just rocket up there. Just rocketed up there. And then, you'll see that in the tweets as well. But that's all I'm saying, guys. Look what they're doing. Here we go again. Here we go again. Oh, they took it up in futures last night. Oh, they're taking it up in futures tonight. And then tomorrow they're probably going to dump it. This is it's just the way it is, guys. It's just the way it is. Take it up all of January, February, give some back to the bears, but it's still a higher low. Do some more chop, 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 go even higher, rinse and repeat. That's what they're going to do, guys. Okay, I'm just telling you the playbook right now. So, what are we looking at here? Oh, we already, actually, this was futures. Yeah, see that? Yeah, futures is up. Futures not going down. Mm-mm. If futures went down, oh, well, then that's just going to turn the MACD down. That's not what they're trying to do. They want the MACD to go up. They want that 4 hour to go up. They're not going to turn it down right now. They're just now starting the pivot to the upside. They're not going to take it down now. That's why futures is up right now. See? And that's why today's move was down. Oh, because, well, we already had a pretty good up move. See that? Look at it. Look at that. Up, 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 up. And then surge up. Oh, okay, we can take it down now. But then we're going to go back up again. That's all they're doing, man. That's how the game in the system. Okay, let's check this out. Don't be surprised. This is January, by the way. January 11, 10, 11, 12. You can barely see it, but let me zoom on in here. So this is the hive in January. See that old gray channel line? You guys know that. You've been following me. See how it likes to hug it and like to follow it up there like that? Look at that. Follow it up, follow it up, follow it up. Okay? I think that kind of looks similar to where we're at right now. We're following just under the hive. SPY 399. We're just under it. It's kind of just floating around. I think that's what they're doing. I think we're going to oscillate around but under the hive, and we're going to chop. We're going to chop around in a wedge under the hive. And that's called consolidation, my friends. And anytime you consolidate under a line like the hive, what happens at the end of the consolidation? Big move up, especially as I just showed you. That 4-hour MACD just keeps just slowly just Godzilla spines up to the zero line, up to the zero line, up to the zero line, up to the zero line. And then it's going to rocket. And there's nothing the bears can do to stop it. Okay. Intraday, guys. So, there's the hive, right? Today was just a massive wedge. Actually, it was a wedge within a wedge. So it was a smaller wedge within a larger wedge. I'll show you that in the tweets here in a second. I won't get ahead of myself. But basically, this was intraday. Okay, interesting so far. It found support at the hive. Right here. That would have been right here. Okay. Consolidating under SMA. Oh, yeah, that would have been right here. So, I mean, time and time again, guys, these lines are not arbitrary. Like I saw one YouTuber comment, woefully mistakenly said, "Oh, I'm just arbitrary. I'm just making it up." Oh yeah, I'm sure I'm making it up. Well, if I'm making it up, the market maker's listening because I'm seeing pivot points at every part of where these lines are. Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. What do you guys think, huh? Yeah, I'd say so. Okay, so there was bearish divergence on the MACD in the morning. Oh, you could barely. Yeah, here we go. That's going up and that's going down. There was. I say that in the past tense. But at the time, I was calling it out. Like, y'all better watch out. There's bearish divergence here at the time. But I said if the MACD turns up, it can invalidate the bearish divergence. That's what ended up happening right here. It was down and it was flattish right here. Then all of a sudden, now you have a higher high than here, and the bearish divergence is now invalidated. Okay, that's an important concept, actually. Okay, yes, here we go. Here we go. Time to rumble. Yes, indeed. And you probably watched my AM Twitter, sorry, AM episode. I said, you guys, it's gonna go up to 401. If it makes a beeline to 401, oh, it's gonna get rejected. And a few of you on Twitter today got puts. Good for you. Good for you. So I want to say something about puts. When we are in this situation, when we are wedging like this, and when futures overnight rockets up, this is the time to get puts. That was the right move that some of you made on Twitter this morning to get puts at 401 right here. That was the correct and the best move that you could have made on the day. Everything else, nah, just limited gains. There's limited gains. The calls wouldn't have worked. Trust me, because I got a couple calls that had I scalped it, I would have profited, but it didn't come out my way because I didn't scalp it and I held on to it and it went down on me because it hit resistance at the hive. And I thought it was gonna take it honestly, but I was mistaken on that. So okay, so I think in the next week to two, potentially, I don't know how exactly how long this is going to last. If they keep pumping futures overnight, and we wake up and say, man, it's up, or if they take it down. If they take it down, that means they're going to the bottom end of the wedge. Then that would, depending on where we are in the wedge, right? It depends on where you are in the wedge. If you think you're at the edge of the wedge, then you want to get calls. But if they pump futures up at night, you really need to get puts because they're going to dump it during the day because they were using futures all night just to make the MACD, the 1 hour and the 4 hour MACD go up. And then they're going to use the daytime to dump it to make the MACD, the 1 hour MACD go down, right? Creating those spines. Okay, that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they did in December. Because I was actually getting kind of mad at them. I'm like, man, you can't sit there and say you're rallying when all of the rallies are happening overnight without any of our, involvement or participation. So there you have it. And what are we looking at here? Yeah, okay, yeah, bearish divergence invalidated. Yeah, right here. It was invalidated. Here, that is higher than that. Now it's neutral convergence. Now the MACD just follows the price, right? Price goes up, MACD goes up. Price goes down, MACD goes down. That's convergence, neutral convergence. So, oh yeah, I was just talking about right here at the time. Let's see, if it takes this weekly band and a back test to it, then I'm scaling long. Obviously, that didn't happen. It hit resistance and went down. Okay, so now we know. Well, actually, it's starting to create the one side of the wedge of the larger wedge. Okay. All right. Remember the rule of never shorting at major support. Short only on the second arrow. Okay, it was right here. Yeah, right here. Um, when that red candle goes below support, this candle is not when you short it. Wait for the back test to come back up to the level that you lost, then you short it here, right? That's when you short. You never short this because had you done that at this time, right here, you'd have been stuck for a good, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30 minutes. Well, all the while you're watching this and like, oh no, it could rip the other way on me. Okay, so okay, you need to see the next 2, 3 candles. This is too tricky. Yes, I'm talking about right around here. This is too tricky. Um, in hindsight, in hindsight, well, now that we know that you're just creating a big wedge, so so it's actually important to to know this. If you don't lose sight of where you are, this is a larger wedge, and this was pretty much at the top because this is also the weekly EMA 50 band. Oh yeah, that's the top of that wedge. At this point, then you would probably reasonably conclude, I think I might hold on to those puts because I think it's going to go further down, given where we are at the top of this larger wedge. See what I'm saying? All right. So that would have been, that's just something to consider for next time. So as I'm saying, I say, well, this looks bullish. I'm talking about right here still because all this wick up, wick up, wick up. It looks bullish, but you need confirmation. Basically, you need to see lift. You need to see some candles lift up and levitate above this line. That's what I mean when I say confirmation. Yeah, but there was no lift. There was no lift. It was just banging on top of the line, and all of a sudden it just went down below it. So over the line is bearish. Under the line is bullish. Consolidating under the line. Consolidating over the line is bearish. Okay, because you don't have lift. You're not lifting up. Here's an example of lift. Up, up, up. That's lift. This is no lift. Okay. Okay. Oh man, this is so frustrating. This wedge is at the towards the afternoon. This wedge is a wedge within this larger wedge. So I drew this wedge right here. See that? This smaller wedge would later fail. You failed out of this wedge, but you passed out of the larger wedge. See that? So it was a wedge within a wedge. It was a bearish wedge within a bullish wedge because this broke to the upside. But this smaller wedge right here broke to the downside. See that? Wedge within a wedge. Okay? Bearish wedge within a bullish wedge. It broke to the upside only to hit resistance at the high, got rejected. So you've got to know your channel lines. You have to know these. You don't have to memorize it, just draw them out. Like I don't memorize them. But you've got to get them on your charts because now you know where you can expect major resistance or minor pivot points. Like minor, I'll call this a minor line. This blue one, this is the 1/8 channel line. So that's a minor line. Obviously, the hive is a major line. Okay, the red dashed line. Yeah, see, that's what I. So when it failed out of this smaller wedge, failed. See, that's when I was like, oh, here we go again. Of course, here we fell out of the bearish wedge and into a bullish wedge. See, I'm starting to pick up on the market maker here. So they've pulled this hat out of the track, pulled the rabbit out of this hat before. So I could nibble along right here. Yeah, it was right here. Right here, as it started to break out of the wedge. Yep, right there. So, being conservative today, didn't do it. Did not do it. I was just more watching than anything. So, okay, another important point. If you realize you are at the top of a larger wedge, don't go long because there's resistance there. Okay? Right? Don't go long intraday unless you're scalping. Unless you're scalping. That's okay. So, yep, all morning the MACD didn't go below the zero line. But when you think about this, uh, it all morning it didn't go below the zero line. So for a half of a day, which is 4 hours, the 4 hour MACD is going up and up and up and up and up. See what I mean? So there you have it. Yeah, the market maker makes wedges just impossible to predict because you can't know the next data point that creates the next larger wedge until the market maker gives you that data point, like right here or like right here. You see what I mean? Until that moment, you can only just go with the data points that you know. But of course, you could probably next time, like maybe anticipate, say, I think I'm going to draw a line out here, see what happens. You could probably do that. Why not? Right? But it's tough. It's tough. Oh, here I'm just saying if it takes back the gray SMA 20 right here, right there. If it takes back the gray SMA 20, then it will have likely broken out. And guess what? That's what happened. Right there. See it? It broke out. Okay. Now I'm talking about right here, and that would have been right there. Yeah, right here. So, just consolidating, consolidating. Okay, at this point, I actually scaled. I scaled long here. Okay, so I scaled long here. It ended up going down, but then it went back up even higher. Okay, scaling more long right here. Yeah, I bought in. I bought in more right here, right there, right there. Because I saw, oh, it's making a higher low right here. You just broke out of the wedge, so it scaled more long. Now, looking back now, though, now that I really realize this is a larger wedge, a, a much bigger wedge, like that can go a week or two, right? Unless you're scalping, scaling long, in this situation, you're already at the top of the larger wedge. That's not smart, okay? I'm not going to do that again. And on top of that, it hit resistance at the hive. I actually thought it was going to take it. I mistakenly thought it was going to take it. Take it. So I held on to that call. I should have just sold it. Though obviously 2020 hindsight's 2020. If I'd have sold it right there, I would have made money. Right? I'm just scalping it. But nonetheless, now that I know we were at the top of the larger wedge, I'm not going to get puts. I'm sorry, I'm not going to get calls. I will favor puts when you're at the top of the wedge, right? Not calls, puts, especially not against the hive. Okay. Okay. Yeah. You see, it's starting to go down. Right. Yeah. Right here. Yeah. Right there. Yeah. I was starting to go down. Like, I'm watching this. I need to scale out of calls. Just take my loss, right? Because I bought in here and I bought in there, so I'm dollar cost averaging right around there. So I'm like, I didn't like this candle. That's why I said I need to watch this closely. And so, as we know, it kept on going down. So by the time I'm scaling out, I was like, I've seen enough. I'm out right there. I'm out. I didn't even wait for that pink line that I was talking about. The pink line was down here. It kept on going down past that too. Okay, so again, I think that's just a lesson learned. At the top of a larger wedge, you favor puts, not calls. That's just natural, right? Favor puts over calls. Okay, so all eyes on extended hours tonight. Let's see if it doesn't go below 396.56. I didn't point this out. Well, I can kind of zoom in. Okay, Friday, higher lows, higher lows. Today we closed. Well, the low in the afternoon is still higher than 396.56 in the pre-market. Higher lows still. Got it? That's actually quite important. Okay. See the pink line? Oh, I don't have the pink line here, but you see the pink line here? That's the downtrend line from 216. Last night we busted out of the downtrend line. Today is a back test to the line right here. Let's check it out. Busted out of it. Back test to the line. Hello. There you go. This is a higher low than that. Out, back test, and then up. See? Haha. The trend is broken. The trend is broken. In the afternoon right here. Okay, so in the afternoon, price is going down, obviously. But what was the MACD doing? Ooh, higher lows. And then overnight, whoop, back to the zero line. Bullish divergence, guys. And tonight, futures is up. Okay, so all of that's important. And please follow me on Twitter if you'd like to follow my real-time tweets as I'm calling the game as I see it. Don't forget to listen to your favorite music as you are trading. Helps you get into your flow state, helps you get into the right state of mind. Please give this video a like, share, subscribe, or click to be notified when I release something new. With that, I'm Agent 000 signing off.